Josna,
Shall we start?
yeah, you can.
Okay. So, very good evening, everyone. So, welcome to OHR's 87th Knowledge Sharing Platform. And today's session is Breathe Well, a scientific technique to reduce stress, wherein Mr. Kelkar will be showing us a live demo. And before going ahead, I would like to introduce in short about OHR, what is OHR, and few words about our today's speaker as well. So OHR, in 2013, Mr. Prashanti Thap and Mr. Jitendra Premse initiated this knowledge sharing and networking journey as a OHR, and now OHR is a registered trust, and it is great to see that OHR has been able to influence positively over thousands of HR professionals. We have presence in all social medias like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and have more than 10 WhatsApp groups wherein we are sharing all the HR related knowledge, job opportunities for the HR professionals, etc. And we have a special membership for HR professionals as well, annual membership, and we have certain special programs for annual members as well. So annual fees 1,000 rupees. Whoever is interested to go ahead with the annual membership can get in touch with us. I'll just share number in chat box in a while. This was all about OHR. Talking about today's speaker, Mr. Gajanan Kelkar, who is a trustee and research director of Manashakti Trust, and he is BE Mechanical and MTech from IIT Mumbai. He has presented many national and international conferences. Apart from this, he has designed a biomedical instrument for psychological testing, and he has published many books as well. So this was a short introduction about our today's speaker, Mr. Gajanan Kelkar. Now I would like Mr. Gajanan Kelkar to conduct this session. I'll just hand over this session to Gajanan sir. Sir, please welcome to OHR.
Thank you. Thank you.
Only one request, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, I have made you now host. So one additional responsibility is there. You need to admit people also, because I will not have that authority now, because I am not the host now. So
But I think when I am presenting, when I am presenting from the same machine, I think there will be some technical difficulty in admitting, because I will be presenting and speaking from the same machine. Screen sharing is also there.
Yeah, Giri can help you. I don't know. I have spoken with him earlier.
Yeah, Giri is with me.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Okay, let us see. Let us see what happens. Otherwise, after 5 minutes, we will just have a couple of minutes and then admit others.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so we start our session, and greetings from Manashakti to all of you. So I was interested in your name, OHR. So, and when I gone through your website, what I could relate with your work is the HR is your profession and HR is our passion. So in a way, we are quite doing the same field. So share for share. Okay. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. So, Manashakti being a 50 years long organization, most of the people, they know Manashakti by name and not in much details, but Manashakti organization, many of the people they know. And recently, Manashakti is now famous for the delicious dishes about misal and vada. You must have enjoyed, some of you might have enjoyed. So with this, I invite you to come to Manashakti for both spiritual advancement and as well as your other things also. So to begin with, next slide. To begin with, I would like to give you a brief introduction about Manashakti. Only brief introduction. Manashakti is mainly a center for peace of mind. And peace of mind is a very broad umbrella term. Anything can disturb your mind. So anywhere and anytime Manashakti would come to your help. That much I could. So this was founded by Swami Vijnanananda. He was naming himself as the first thinker of and founder of Manashakti, and he held knowledge as supreme. He conducted 29 different types of tapas and experiments on mind, and did not allow anybody to bow down before him or namaskar also. You won't find his photograph or statue or darshana. No guru, no shishya tradition. So that is the background of him, and he has published more than 250 books. He took Prakash Samadhi in 1993. Since then, the trust is run by members of the trustees for last more than 25 years. Now, the specialty of this trust is that we don't accept any government grants or no donations also in general sense. No loans for the activities, and we give, on the contrary, donations for national calamities or any destructive work. Now, Manashakti, as the name indicates, that Manashakti Research Center, there are quite a number of research areas like nature of human mind, effect of emotions and prayers on human cells and plants, disease cure, meditation techniques, concept of God, pre-birth education is our flagship program, pre-birth and even pre-conception also, then education, sleep learning, study techniques, and life after death. So these are some of the activities like we have got periodicals, monthly magazine we publish, more than 250 books we have on various topics. We conduct 3 days residential study courses, 1 day workshops, and we have got a unique testing facility like psychological test here with the instruments. So we call it as a new way to test mind through machines. I got a small booklet which gives you the basic test and the machines that are being used in this one. So next. The books are related to what mind means, equation of happiness, science and philosophy, save your child from yourself, cure without medicine, God reconsidered, emotional world of the fetus. So many diversified areas that we have taken up, but those are pertaining to, we begin with the purpose of universe. You know? Who am I? Why I have come into this existence? So it's a spiritual background of this one, but a scientific background also. We conduct 3 days workshop like fetus potential, that is during those 9 months pregnant couples come here for 3 days course to understand how does the environment affect the fetus. Then meditation course is there, disease of cure, freedom for jealousy hazards, which is again pertaining to all these executives that jealousy is a part and parcel of our life. How to get rid of this jealousy hazards. Concept of God, science of mantras, then for senior citizens and knowledge about future. This is our monthly magazine, Manashakti, which can be subscribed. You can visit our website, manashakti.org, and get these things. These are some of the photographs of the courses we conduct here in Lonavala. I will just rapidly move through. This is a boys and parents program. They come here in hundreds in number. Camps for children and parents. That is, we have got three groups, 1 to 7, 8 to 14 years, 15 to 21, and 22 to 28 years. This is all with the parents and the senior group of students like 22 to 28. This for the youth, courage at youth. So practically you will find that at every stage of life, Manashakti comes to help. These are some of the photographs. These are the pregnant couples attending a program in Hotel Sayaji. We conduct corporate programs also. This is also another one. And this is small kids enjoying their 3-day stay over here with Sanskar and on a picturesque background at our center in Lonavala. Okay, so this is regarding a short introduction to Manashakti Center. And now come to the Breathe Well, a scientific technique to reduce stress. So before going to the technique as such, I would like to focus on the stress part of it, the mechanism of stress, the definition of stress, and how this Breathe Well technique is going to reduce, and what is that mechanism. So these are some of the interesting and new topics which I would like to share with you. Because stress management, it's a very, I would say it's a very smooth word. So many organizations are dealing with managing stress. But here we will find that we go scientifically and use the latest technique, how to reduce stress and what are the properties of stress. Stress is a very common word, and even the small kid going to the first standard, he also complains that he is under stress. So, so we don't know whether what is happening to the stress. So we begin with the definition of stress, because any scientific study will definitely start with the definitions of stress. And I can tell you that the definition of stress has evolved in the last 200 years of time. I will just narrate 2 or 3 definitions and to the latest one. The first one is here: the stress is a condition or feeling experienced when the person perceives that demands exceed the personal and social resources the individual is able to mobilize. It is just similar to demand and supply strategy, that we are not able to supply what is being demanded, and that is how we land in the stress. That is an old definition, I would say. Next has come up is the stress is the non-specific response of the body to any demand for change. Normally, our body is having a property called as inertia. We are not prepared to change ourselves. So any change being asked by the management or being asked by a situation, we tend to repose that. So stress is the non-specific response of the body to any demand for change. That means if anything changeable circumstances happen, our whole body revolts against that. It is called a non-specific response. And the third one is the rate of disintegration of the body. That was from the Hans Selye. Because ultimately, the stress affects our body And that is why this is a very practical definition, that rate of disintegration of the body, that is called as a stress. Now, having known the definition, the next question is whether stress is good or bad. All the stress is good or all the bad? And the answer is that all stress is not bad.
Sorry
there
to
is some part
interrupt.
of the stress which is good also, which practically everybody knows about this. All stress is not bad. If stress is not there, there will not be any motivation. So I would just show you the stress curve, which is also a famous curve, the bell-shaped curve.
Sir,
And
sorry to interrupt. Few
initially-
people are waiting actually. Can you just allow them to get in for session?
Yeah,
Your
sure.
host,
Just
so yeah, please.
we'll admit some people. Okay, we have admitted the waiting people. Let's stop one.
I wrote this organization. Apply to cancel. Screen sharing.
Sorry for that disturbance. We were in the process of admitting some people. And since I'm working on the same laptop, there was some time in between. Okay, I was just talking about the stress curve, which is a well-known curve, that initially, if the stress and the performance, they go together. As the stress increases, the performance also increases. But at a particular point, the maximum, is a bell-shaped curve, the topmost point, you will find that then the performance decreases with the increase of stress. So that is a breakdown coming in between anxiety, panic, anger, all these things come later on. But in initial stages, the green zone which is shown there, the stress is very good. That is called as the EU stress. So let us understand that all the stress is not bad. We should have some stress. Next. Okay, the question is now, how to measure the stress? Because the person in stress is not able to understand that he is in a stress condition. Normally, you will find that the third person may realize that another gentleman is under stress, but that particular gentleman will not understand whether he is under stress or not. So how to find out? So whatever I'm showing here is the photograph of a small machine here, and I have shown the picture, but I have got the machine here with me here also, same one. And what I have to do is that to find out whether I'm in a stress condition or not, I have to just put my two thumbs on these electrodes here, And you will find that some LEDs are blinking. If you are able to see that, two green LEDs or one LED is blinking here. If this would have been a live lecture, I would have given you chance to find out. The people having stress will find that this LED will go to the far like this. See. So this will go in a red region, and this is how you will come to know at a given moment whether you are having stress or not. And this is based on the specific property in the science that is called as a galvanic skill conductance. That our conductance goes down when you are under stress. So based on that particular concept, this machine is designed. Now, there is another method to find out the stress. And this is the question and answer type called as the DAS test, Depression Anxiety Stress Test. Here I am showing on the screen is the report of the DAS test. There are 42 different questions. Some of them are pertaining to depression, some of them are pertaining to anxiety, some of them are pertaining to stress. And you have to rate the question between 0 and 3. 0 means does not apply to you, that question, and 3 is totally applying to you. So this depression, anxiety, stress, after solving those 42 questions, we will give you a rating, a scale, like normal, mild, moderate, severe, where you feel, where you stand. Depression scale, anxiety scale, and this is also another way. This can be even taken on the our website. You can have this with correspondence also. This particular test getting done. There is no question of any machine involved. So you just email us and then we will give you that. So these are only some of the techniques. 2 techniques are. There are so many other techniques also to find out the severity of the stress on your body. We have got very state-of-the-art machines here in our laboratory, where all the body senses, like say touch, and then the EMG, ECG, brain waves, they are getting detected to find out the effect of stress, how much you retain that stress in your body. So next slide. I will just hurriedly tell you about the stages of the stress. There are 3 stages of stress. The first stage, that is the initial stage, body gets mobilized for fight and flight response. Brain and cardiovascular system is energized. Sugar enters the bloodstream. So initial part of the blood glucose level. Breathing speeds up. Mouth dries up and the sweating out. First stage. Second stage is the body calls for reserve nutritional and energy resources. Immunity is decreased. Anxiety is heightened. And body is subject to viral and bacterial infection. That is the second stage. And third stage, this is called as the chronic stage. You'll find that the fight and flight response, which is the defense mechanism which the nature has given to us, that response reduces. Immunity is also affected, is also reduced. So that is the chronic stress. I have just shown you these tests so that you will analyze for yourself which stage you are going through. If you are not going to any of this stage, that is well and good. Good health is there. But otherwise, be aware that this is a problematic situation. Next. Now, effect of stress at a cellular level. How does the stress affect at my cell level, cellular level? Now, because of corona, everybody is now conscious. What is happening to my cellular level? So, wound healing takes 9 days longer. That is what research says on the cellular level. Intracellular communication is decreased. Immune system is suppressed. Then increased bacterial infection, increased susceptibility to autoimmune diseases, decreased ability to handle invading toxins. So that is what is happening at the cellular level. Now, what are the diseases? In short, I will tell that practically all diseases are due to stress. It is said that more than 95% of the diseases are called as a psychosomatic diseases. See the list here, like heart disease, high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, digestive discomfort, bowel problems, metabolic disorders, anxiety, short-temperedness, neck, headache, neuralgia, that is the neural pathway getting pain, diabetes, asthma, and even skin problems. And you'll be surprised how does it, the emotions, they play a major role in the skin problems. But that is there, this is because of the stress. Complications in pregnancy. This is another chapter in pregnancy, the stress and the outcome. Sexual dysfunctions, and psychological problems, memory and concentration, insomnia, depression. In short, majority of the diseases, the origin lies in the stress. And so it is called as, stress is called as a slow killer. It won't affect body immediately, but it will be a slow killer. Now, coming to the mechanism of stress. How does the, see stress, this mechanism is given by nature to combat stress. But this is to be used for a limited time. So what happens if the person is under stress? That mechanism I would like to show you. It is called as hypothalamus pituitary axis. So hypothalamus, there is a part in the brain called as hypothalamus. He perceives there is a stress, or the mind perceives stress. Then he orders the pituitary, that is the master gland, to release adrenal, to release cortisol from the adrenal cortex. See, I have shown you the arrow here. And these are the top of the kidneys, the green one. And from there, the cortisol is generated and it is released in the bloodstream so that you become more active, more strength is there to fight the combat the stress. So this is a natural mechanism given by the nature to fight for the stress for a limited time. But what is happening? In practice, there are so many stressors in our daily routine. Like job stress is there, working stress is there, financial stress is there. And so all the time, this HPA axis, it is called as hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. This is on all the time. And that is why the other functions of the body, they get affected. Because you are concentrating only to combat stress. And other functions, other body functions, then you will find all the problems of the stress because of that only, because you are concentrating on HPA axis. A similar example I would like to give is that, suppose in Pune, you are living in Pune, the police are there, the traffic police are, they are there to control the traffic. But what happens when there are some ministers, they come there in the city for the meeting, then what these people they do? They remove all the police from the traffic and put them in the bandobast for the ministers. Then there is a chaos. Then there is otherwise also in Pune there is chaos. But if the police is not there, you will find that there is a chaos in the traffic. There is a traffic jam, and similar situation happens in our body. That all the concentration is on the HPA axis, and that is why our other mechanisms of the body, they are non-functional, and that is why the problem comes. Now, how does it start? The negative spiral in the body. Because of stress, there is a negative spiral in the body, and that we will see. The first one is the mind perceives stress. Stress is to the mind and not to the body. That we have to understand first. Stress is to the mind. So mind perceives stress. It triggers animal instinct of fight and flight, and adrenaline increases to prepare body. Heartbeat increases. Blood pressure also increases. Breathing becomes fast and shallow. What we are doing today is exactly reversing this, all these symptoms here. Like blood pressure, heartbeats are increasing, breathing becomes fast and shallow. So we'll reverse that. We will go into the deep and slow breathing. I will tell you. Metabolism increases. Stomach readies for processing more fluid. Acidity increases. Overloaded excretory systems to clear toxins. imbalanced endocrine system, imbalanced emotions, fear, anxiety, anger, depression, that leads to panic situation, and then this negative chain reaction happens. So at one point, we had to stop this reaction, action, chain reaction, and reverse this whole cycle. Okay, how to that? How to do that? That we will come to know within few minutes. Next, we go to the what is the cause of the stress. You may point out many causes of the stress, but whatever the cause which I am now going to tell you might surprise you. Okay, let us see. Your love for inequality is the cause of stress. Your love for inequality is the cause of stress. See, if you go to the roots of the causes, you will find that cause is not a financial problem, or cause is not I'm not getting along with my boss. Okay, the root cause is that my love for inequality. How does it happen? You may surprise. How does inequality comes? See, the natural tendency is that I should be recognizable. I should have something different that others don't have. Normally, I tell this particular story in my programs that a couple is there and his wife demands some necklace, jewelry necklace, the beautiful one, the recent one which had come in Tanishka. So daily, she is nagging to him that she would purchase that diamond necklace and gift it to her. Naturally, husband is reluctant, as everybody knows. He tries to say that, you have got so many other things you have there, necklaces. Why you require this one? She says, no, this is the new one. It has come in the market and nobody is having that. So he was just thinking how to avoid this situation. So one day, a thought came to his mind, and then when he came back home, he just asked his wife that, come on, let us go to that shop and we will purchase that one. She was delighted. She said, well, now you have understood my request. Okay, let us go. But he said, I have got one condition. You tell me 10 conditions, I don't mind, but I want to have that necklace. What was the condition? He said, we will purchase the necklace worth of, say, lakh of rupees. And then we will go to the bank, put it in our safe deposit vault. And under no circumstances, you will wear it and show it in the different occasion, ceremonies, marriage parties, or parties. I will give you as you require, but you should not wear it and show it in the parties. Then she said, what is the use of it? What is the use of that purchasing that necklace? So the question is that the pleasure is in the necklace or pleasure is in the showing of that necklace. That I have it and you don't have it. That is called as inequality. Pleasure is always there in inequality and man is after pleasure. And that is why he is having more stress. This is you will find that it is a very subtle argument, but this is a very important one. Okay, we'll just wait a minute so that we will admit some of the people. Okay. So the cause of stress ultimately and in a true sense is our love for inequality. Next one. Stress is a phenomena of mind and not of body. Stress is the phenomenon of mind and not of body. That we have to understand. It is all that it is in mind. Nobody is giving you a load of 100 kilos and ask you to take it as a stress one. It's basically in my mind. And mind perceives that. One gentleman was sleeping in his bedroom and in the night, he saw some figure at the corner of his room. Somebody was standing over there. So he got frightened. Said, who has come in my bedroom and why is standing over there? And there was a movement at that particular location. So all his physiology got changed. He was sweating, his pulse rate increased, his respiration rate also increased. After a few minutes, he thought that let us see who is that gentleman. He just switch on the light in the room. And to his surprise, he found that his shirt was hanging there on the hanger. And because of the wind, it was just moving around. So it is all in the mind. And that is why we have to treat our mind so that the stress will get reduced. Why are we stressed? The next question is, how is the stress? What is the mechanism, cause of stress? And the next question is, why are we stressed? Because of so many problems are there, ultimately, we see that. But then why do we enjoy the stress? Next, answer is there. To get more and more pleasure and more happiness. More malls are coming in the town. More money is required to purchase and enjoy, isn't it? So to get more and more pleasure, whatever pleasure I'm not happy with, I'm not contented. So to get more and more happiness. But will nature allow this one? Will nature allow this one-way traffic? No, it won't allow you. The result is that in this process of getting more and more pleasure, you get or we get, the result is it results in the more of displeasure and unhappiness. This is the law of nature. This is the law of nature. And the law of Newton also. Action has got equal and opposite reaction. If I do my action for the pleasure, I get the reaction from nature equal and opposite of displeasure. See, this particular laws are never taught in our school or colleges. We are taught the Newtonian laws, but we are not taught the laws of pleasure and happiness. So here is the law, that once action and reaction they go together. So in return, we get displeasure and unhappiness. So does it mean that we should not aspire for any happiness? No, it is not the same. I don't mean that. See the next slide. The aim should be to achieve the contentment and not the happiness. Happiness has got the reverse one. Contentment means samadhan. It should be calm, samadhan. As a third person, you should see that one. So the aim should be to achieve contentment. Then you will not find any strenuous situation in your mind. Next. Now this stress causes sympathetic system to get activated. What is the effect of stress? Stress causes sympathetic system of our body to get activated. Now you'll be asking question, what is this sympathetic system? See, there are two systems in our body. Nature has given us these two systems. One is called as a sympathetic system, another is called as a parasympathetic system. Sympathetic system, normally 80% of the time we operate sympathetic. Sympathetic is the accelerating system. It increases motion in your body. I get angry, my pulse increases, my breath rate increases, my blood pressure increases. So sympathetic means it accelerates my motion in the body. Parasympathetic is a braking system which will suppress us, which will control this acceleration. And that is why nature has given this to, as we have got in the automated car, when you drive, there is an accelerator, and other is the brake. Only two things are required. Nowadays, the clutch is also not required. So in our body, one is the accelerating system, that is called sympathetic one. Sorry. Second is the braking system, which is called as the parasympathetic system. But by mechanism, and since we are all the stressed, our sympathetic system is all the time activated. The requirement is that you should activate parasympathetic system also, so that there will be a balance and there will not be effect of stress on your body. Next slide. So these are the two systems of autonomic nervous systems: sympathetic, accelerating, parasympathetic, braking. That is what I have already told you. Sympathetic nervous system allows body to function under stress. See, whenever we are stressed, sympathetic is activated. It is fight or flight or freeze response is there. Well, parasympathetic system controls vegetative functions like feed or breed, rest or repose. Constant opposition to the sympathetic system. So these are the accelerating and braking system naturally occurring in the body. And interesting part is that here some details are given. Fight and sympathetic system, which deals with the fight and flight response. Heart rate increases, dilates lungs, inhibits digestion, dilates pupils. Parasympathetic, it is called the rest and digest response. Heart rate decreases, salivation increases, urine secretion increases, pupils constrict. These two systems maintain a homeostatic balance in the body. What is homeostasis? I will just let you know in a couple of minutes. But they should work in harmony. Then only body will be in a complete health. Next. Now, this particular diagram shows how these two systems operate. On the left side, it is sympathetic system. On the right side, it is a parasympathetic system. And in the center, you will find most of the organs of our body. Right from the eye till genitals. Every body, every organ is connected with these two systems: sympathetic, parasympathetic, sympathetic, parasympathetic. One is increasing, another is decreasing. Sorry. So this is what science says, that these two systems, they are working like this. But if you go only for sympathetic, it will be stretched to one side only. So we should have parasympathetic system also to work in our body. Next. So what our breathe well does is that the breathe well technique, initiates the parasympathetic system in our body. And that is why it is going to reduce the stress. So before coming to that, let me tell you something about homeostasis. This is a new term. New term is not known to many people, but this is very pertinent term. Homeostasis is a term used which means the harmonious equilibrium of many physical and emotional factors that permit the body to maintain a steady state of health. Many physical and emotional factors, that is very much important. So what is very physical and emotional factors?
Done speaking.
Maintaining
Jaishrao is speaking.
equilibrium within the living organism is the homeostasis. Next. Stress is departure from homeostasis. This is also important. This is just to your understanding. What is health? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So this is very important. Only physical or mental, now WHO has come up with this particular definition, that social well-being is also equally important to have the stress. You will find because of this lockdown, there was no social interaction. And what has happened? It has increased so many problems, more number of divorces, more number of mental problems, because there was no social interaction. Next. Now, I will just briefly introduce you to the new terminology called as HRV. It's called as heart rate variability. Why I'm introducing to you? Because this breathe well technique will increase your heart rate variability. Normally, we are knowing that we go to the doctor or we go to the to the doctor. First, he will see what is your pulse rate. My pulse rate is 72. My pulse rate is 92. So this is the rate, average rate for a minute. But HRV, heart rate variability, is a new concept where the rate of pulse for each beat is calculated by a computer. Every beat will have a different rate. Suppose my pulse rate is 60. That means my each beat will come after 1 second. Correct? That is why my pulse rate is 60, average pulse rate. But in practice, you will find that your pulse rate is never constant. 60 will be average. So at times it will go to the 80 beats per minute. At times it will slow down to 50 beats per minute, maintaining the average, whatever is there. It is just like driving a car. 80 speed limit is on the highways. So you go sometimes 100, 120, you go sometimes 60, 40, like that. Maintain the average there. So heart rate variability is a recent concept, non-invasive tool about your autonomic nervous system. How these two systems, parasympathetic and sympathetic, how do they function? That can be assessed with this HRV technique. So that is why maintaining your HRV is the key to your well-being, longevity, and successful aging. This is a very recent one. Not many of people, they are aware of this particular technique. And why I'm sharing this new information? Because breathe well is going to increase your HRV. Breathe well is going to increase your parasympathetic system. Next. Now, background of why you require to have a change. Some people normally ask me, if my pulse beats at a constant rate of 80 beats, what is going to happen? The answer is there. The ability of the heart to handle the ever-present stresses and relaxations placed on the body. So in stresses, you require more blood supply. From where it will come? So stresses, physical, psychological, relaxations, recovery from the stresses. One may conclude that greater the variability, better the heart can keep up with changes, and therefore healthier the person. Your heart should be capable of supplying that much blood to the brain. And that is where the question of variability comes. If it beats at a constant beat, it won't supply. Okay? And that is why if your health is good, your variability is good. Next. HRV definition, I will just quote you briefly because I want to take you to the practical session within a few minutes. HRV is the measure of continuous interplay between sympathetic and parasympathetic influences on heart rate that yields information about autonomic flexibility and thereby represent the capacity for regulated emotional responding. The HRV is mainly concerned with these two autonomic nervous systems. HRV reflects the degree to which cardiac activity can be modulated to meet the changing situational demands. So looking at this, today we will see, I will ask you to take your pulse also. And if you have got your blood pressure monitor, the portable blood pressure monitor, the single person can, if you can attach that also, you will find that after this breathe well exercise, you will find that your BP will be lower by 10%, average 10%, if it is more. And if it is less, it will come to the normal range. You can try it. There is nowadays this portable blood pressure meters are available. One person can operate this one. There is no need to put stethoscope and other things. So you can try with that. But today we will do it with the pulse rate today. Okay. So this is the definition of HRV, and this is just to make you understand what does it mean. On the y-axis, this is the pulse rate. On the x-axis, there is a time. Here, every beat is plotted. If you see this graph, every beat is plotted over there. You will find that in the 20th second, the lowest the beat was 73 there, and the highest is 89. The next beat is 89 rate. Third one is 70. Next is 87. Likewise, there is a sort of sine wave is there. And this is attached with the breathing rate also. Slower the breathing, higher the variation. Okay, next. Now, this is in short, thumb rule, I would say. And of course, this depends on age also. But generally speaking, if the variation of the heart rate variability is less than 5 beats, it's much, much lower. Normal is between 5 to 10 beats. Good is 10 to 20 beats, depending on the age. If you are in the middle age, it should be minimum 20 beats, and excellent between 20 and 30 beats. This is just to make you understand the quantification part of it. Next. Now this is calculated from the ECG printout also. When you go to a cardiac doctor or when you take out your ECG, there is a PQRST diagram. PQRS diagram. Same thing I have plotted it there. And that distance between these two pulses or the two electrical pulses is called as the RR distance. From that, variability is calculated. Next. I don't want to go into more technical aspects of it. But here, I got a machine, and from that, I have taken out this display here. And this particular machine will sense your pulse and display it in a graphical way. The latest one which I have here is a Bluetooth machine here, very simple one. I can put it to my earlobes like this one, and then press this button here, and there will be small light blinking here. And this will get attached via Bluetooth to the main program. Okay, and there it will collect my heart rate. Beat, every beat it will collect. Every beat it will sense, and then it will put like this graphical format. Now here the graph is the heart rate versus time, and you will find that this is quite a crooked graph. There is not much of variability. There is not much of coherence also. So this is not desired. This is under stress graph, I would say. Now when you perform breathe well, how will it be modified? How will it be changed? That I will show you. The next one. Yeah. Show me the graph. Yeah. Now you will see the same one, the same person after doing this breathe well, how it has gone smoothly. The amplitude is also increased, and he is a relaxed person. This change you can practically see on the machines. Now you can't afford to have this machine. Not everybody can't afford to have these machines at home. And that is why I have come up with the idea of this breathe well technique. So if you follow that breathe well technique, you will get the same results without spending much of money, very meager money. And that is why I have come up with this so that everybody can be benefited with this one. Especially people under stress or executives, they should do it. You will find that there is a control of blood pressure control. You will see that their heart problems, they get much reduced because of this technique, because stress is reduced. Next one. Okay. Now, the theoretical part is, I just wanted to let you know, I have completed that, and now we will go to the practical one. So we will take a practical session, and I would advise that you should sit in a comfortable position, and only thing that your spinal cord or the back should be the straight one initially. You should not pay attention to your spinal cord constantly, but initially you should pay attention, make it erect, so that there is a flow of energy, easy flow of energy from bottom of. So now I will count. You can put your hand to count your pulse rate. Can you feel your pulse here? See the thumb, there is a vein coming here, like this one. Put your 3 fingertips here like this, and you will find that you will find the beats coming there. Just try if you can get those beats. Close your eyes, just feel the beats. You can move your fingers here and there to find out the location. Are you able to locate? We'll just do it as an experiment only. I will count for half a minute. I will count for half a minute, and you can note down the double the figure which you count as the initial pulse. And then after the experiment, we will count again the pulse and see the difference. Okay? So put your hands to count the pulse. Feel the pulse, close your eyes. Don't think of anything else. Just be calm and give your attention to the beats which you sense. 1, 2, 3. Start counting. Stop counting. Now the beats which you have counted, multiplied by 2 and put that particular value as your initial pulse. Okay. Now you need not place your fingers on your hand. You just now sit comfortably with your spinal cord erect and close your eyes and listen to the music. For first couple of minutes, I will play a relaxation track where your body and mind will be relaxed initially. And then I will start another track of Breathe Well, where there will be chanting of Om. Om will be chanted in 2 pitches. One is the lower pitch, another is the higher pitch. I will explain that time also. But during the lower pitch, you will exhale, and in the higher pitch, you will inhale. Okay. Now, why to do this? Because I told you, our normal breathing is around 12 to 15 breaths per minute. If you reduce your breathing rate to a level of 6 breaths per minute, which we are going to do right now, you will find that your breathing will be much deeper. All the oxygen which you inhale, that will get absorbed. And it is a optimized breathing rate. You will find that the parasympathetic activity will go on increasing that time. I have told you the enough background of that, and we will start now. Close your eyes and listen to the relaxation. Keep your eyes closed. I will switch the track now, and you will only listen. You will not chant Om. You will inhale till the Om is being sung, but you will not chant Om. Om is used as a time stamp. High pitch Om and low pitch Om. Inhale while you are in the low pitch. Inhale, you are in the high pitch, and exhale, you are. I will just switch the track now. Close your eyes and listen first to the Om. High pitch Om, low pitch Om. High pitch Om, low pitch Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. as we did earlier. Put your 3 fingers at the bottom, at the root of the thumb. Feel the pulse. And when I give you a cue, then we start counting. Feel the pulse. 1, 2. Start counting. Stop. Multiply the counts by 2 and write down the figure as the pulse after the breathe well. Next. Now, I am not able to get your feedback now, so I will tell you the criteria. Now, the second pulse rate is of more importance. If it is reduced from the first one, you have got a better effect of this dhyana. The criteria is that the second pulse should get reduced. If it is increased, then we will have to again check up what is the question, what is the problem. But after doing this meditation, your pulse should get reduced. So I don't know how many of you are there whose pulse rate is reduced. But amongst you, you can just find out later on. Okay. So this completes my experimental part of it. And now I will just hurriedly go through the remedies. I'm just going hurriedly. I'm not going to any details. See, the number one is that you have to do this sort of exercise of breathing called as pranayam, deep breathing, slow breathing, abdominal breathing daily for 15 minutes. Secondly, there is a prayer called as self-rumination prayer or called as a Atma Chintan prayer that you have to do. Meditation, you can do meditation on any color or any symbol. Like this Om, in this particular CD is available on our Manataranga app. Android app is there, Manataranga. I will type it, Manataranga app. You can purchase it from that particular Manataranga app and it will get installed into your mobile phone also. All the 3-4 tracks they can get installed. Secondly, one more thing which I would like to clarify here, that Om is used as a time stamp. Om is not used as a religious symbol, let me tell you. Those people who don't believe in Om, well, they can follow this technique. We have got another track which is instrument based. There is no Om, but the time stamp is done by the specific instrument. The question is that how much time you breathe in and breathe out. Om is not used as a religious symbol. So those who don't want to use, well, they can do so. They can use another track which is available in my CD. Then some of the yoga techniques that we can recommend. Then mantra chanting or japa chanting. Every religion has got their mantras also. Color concentration. Concentration on light, that is Yajna Jyot or any flame in the evening. Then psychograph. Then study courses acquiring knowledge about laws of nature. And the last one is the add sacrifice to daily life. So to reduce stress, you have to do some your karma, as it said, that sacrifice something, either money-wise or physical hours also, at least 1 hour per day, average, for any social cause, you will find that your stress level will go down. Do some social work. And that is the key to the happiness also and reducing stress also. This is called as a selfless work or karma shuddhi. This is the prayer called self-reflection. Only I will read out only 2 lines of that, which are very important. Before going to sleep, you should chant this prayer. Say this to yourself. For the bad experiences I have had, instead of blaming others, I will myself reflect upon them. Instead of seeking false satisfaction, I will rely on courage and good wisdom. So that is the crux of this prayer. Psychography is also another technique. Next. Like you have to analyze the day. What is the fear? What is your major predominant temperament during the day? Whether it was fear, whether it was anger, whether it was courage or balance. It's called as a psychograph technique. But we can discuss it at some later date. For the time being, whatever I just wanted to let you know, with the practical I have done it. And again, I will welcome you here at Lonavala. And one more thing I just wanted to tell you is that we have one more technique called as a psychofeedback therapy. Psychofeedback, wherein you can come here and stay, for 4 days, sit in front of machines and try to regulate your body motions. That is in crux. And that is useful for all the problems like ADHD, stress, anxiety, or any phobic disorders. See, we have got all the state-of-the-art machines here, and you can make use of that. Come here and stay for 4 days. So with this, I end up my session saying thanks to you.
Thank you so much, Gajanan sir, for this wonderful session. That was amazing experience of meditation. So we'll definitely follow this mantra to reduce our stress in our day-to-day life. That was excellent session.
You can take control. Prashant, you can take control now. The host is changed.
Yes, sir. Great. Thank you, Gajanan sir, for this wonderful session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And yes, we really, enjoyed this meditation mantra, and we'll definitely try to follow in our day-to-day life. So that's an amazing session. And yes, of course, participants, thank you very much for attending today's session on behalf of our OHR. And thank you. Thank you, Gajanan sir, once again. Thank you. Yeah. So session ends here. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
If anybody has any questions, queries,
yes, participants,
clarifications,
or any comment,
feel free to ask.
You can also write your questions in chat box also. No worries.
Yes, sure.
What is the right time for meditation?
Yeah. The meditation right time is early in the morning before taking breakfast. That is a good one. But if you are seriously interested in the meditation techniques, the right time is called as Brahma Muhurta, which is not practicable.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, how to connect you at Lonavala, and what are the charges you are charging for this purpose?
There are charges for various different programs. If you come for 3 days stay, there is a charge of around 15 3 days stay. 1,700 rupees for 3 days stay here. And if you come for psycho feedback, some added cost is there because you have to take a separate room and stay here, around 6,000 rupees for 4 days. So likewise, there are different costs for. If you come for a test, then there is a charge for around 1,000 rupees for a test.
Sir, good
Yeah.
evening.
Good evening.
It was a nice demo with the theory and practical. My pulse rate reduced by 18. What does it suggest?
Oh, very good. That means, pulse, see, the meditation is has got an effect on your body. This will, conserve your energy expenditure.
Okay, sir.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You are all invited to come to Lonavala. Come in a group also, or come otherwise also individually. And come for this psychofeedback therapy also. This is a very nice program here.
One question, sir, 1 minute.
Yeah.
One question to OHR.
Pardon?
Where can OHR? Where can we get that information more about it?
Which information?
About OHR Foundation.
You can visit our website, or you can call me or WhatsApp me. My phone number is 98237.
Just 1 minute. Repeat the phone number again.
98237
237
24975.
24975. Sir, your
Yeah.
good name, please.
Prashant Ithape.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Sir, once again, thank you, sir. Kelkar.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Thapi, sir.
Thank you, sir. Definitely,
nice.
we will visit to Manashakti. I will coordinate with Mr. Kulkarni.
Okay.
And
On,
thank
just
you
1
to-
minute, sir. Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
On behalf of participants, I would like to thank both Mr. Gajananji and OHR Foundation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash.
Special
Thank you.
thanks
I
to
will.
Welcome,
Pritesh
ma'am.
Kulkarni for coordinating today's session.
Yes.
Thank you, Prashant.
Okay, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. for
Okay,
giving
thank
us
you.
the
Okay.
Have a
opportunity.
wonderful Sunday. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
sir. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, Josna. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Yeah, thank you. Bye.